Hi guys, it's Sohi here, and I'm here with Rachel. She is a coach with ELT Method. She is also currently pursuing her master's degree in psychology, so she knows a lot about behavior change. I brought her in today because we want to talk about what is one of the biggest mistakes from a psychology standpoint that you see people making when they cannot reach their fitness goals.
Okay, so what we see a lot of the times when people are setting goals across any type of domain is that they're picking something that has to do with the mastery of a topic or the outcome. So it's great to have that as your end game. You want to have that as kind of the end of the road where you want to be, but you need to break it down into smaller steps so that you can get there over time.
Okay, so give me an example of what this might look like and how you can make it better.
Okay, so if my goal was I want to be healthier in general, you can break it down into, okay, today I'm going to schedule a walk-in during my lunch for 10 minutes, or maybe with my lunch and dinner, I'm gonna eat 1 cup of vegetables. So break it down into something small and measurable, and then schedule it into your routine so that it's not a vague kind of overarching goal.
What is the problem with a goal like, I want to work out more? Why is that problematic, and why am I more likely to fail with that type of goal?
So it's good to have an overarching goal of maybe I want to work out more, but you have to have it so that you can implement it in. You want to take out all guesswork so that you know exactly when you're going to execute it and what it takes to check it off your list. So if you just say I want to work out more, but you don't have a schedule of when you're going to go to the gym, maybe even what type of class you're going to do or what training schedule,
or like what gym am I even going to, or am I just going outside?
Yeah, exactly. Then it's really hard to have a benchmark of when you have done what you were supposed to, so it's really hard to reach those goals if it's too big.
Right. And we can even liken it to specific eating behavior. So if you want to say, I don't want to overeat when I go out to restaurants, what does overeating mean to you? Because it could be very, very vague. And the problem with that can be when you're out at a restaurant and you're having a good time around your friends, around family, where you're heavily influenced by other people's behavior, it's very easy in your mind to justify, well, overeating can mean this thing, or you can stretch your definition of what that means, and all of a sudden you haven't met your goal, right? You've already overindulged or overeaten. All right, Rachel, now I know I have to be a lot more specific with my goal. I'm a sedentary individual who hasn't been working out for 5 years. I want to go from 0 days of exercise a week to I'm gonna start doing, I'm being very specific here, 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, 1 hour cardio followed by 1 hour of weights at Gold's Gym nearby at 8 in the morning before I go to work. Why is that problematic?
Okay, so the problem with going completely overboard and going to the extreme is that maybe you'll be able to maintain this in the short term, but we're thinking about longevity. So remember, if you're adopting new habits, we're assuming these are things you want to carry out through your lifetime. So if you start small and you're able to build on it and maintain for a long period of time, then you'll probably be more successful at maintaining it. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to work out every day for 2 hours after not training or doing anything, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. Because what if you go off track for a day or a couple days, then you feel like, okay, now I can't do it. It's better to start with something like just get dressed for the gym and go for a walk, or do like a 5-minute at-home training session or something to get moving, and then build on it from there.
But Rachel, I want to be hardcore. It's too easy for me. It's not worth doing. Why would I waste my time pursuing something that's so easy when I can just go super hardcore and be extreme?
If we go to the full extreme and you're relying on motivation to get things done, you want to think that that is a limited resource, similar to your attention, right? So maybe right off the bat you'll be motivated, but as time goes on, motivation is fleeting, and that's when you've got to rely on discipline, and that's where building these habits into your schedule and keeping it the same is going to be really beneficial.
So if you think about it, motivation is unreliable. So sometimes it's high, especially when you're first setting any kind of goal. Maybe let's say, for example, New Year's resolutions, right? You like to be super ambitious. You want to lose this much weight. You want to go to the gym this many days a week. And at that time, it feels very doable because your motivation is at an all-time high. What we forget is that there's going to be times, maybe the next day, maybe the next week, your motivation level is going to drop. And when your motivation level drops, it's going to be that much harder to execute a behavior that is already difficult. So if you scale back the target behavior to make it very, very bite-sized, make it a tiny specific habit such that even when you're having a low motivation day, you can still do that behavior. That's what you want to do.
And you want to give yourself a chance to win at what you're doing, right? Because it can be very discouraging if you go with a really rigid program that maybe you can do for a week and then you fall off track and it completely goes overboard. So you want to build your way up and build up your self-confidence so that you know that you can execute these behaviors, and each time you're getting better and better. So you want to build in wins for yourself along the way too.
So what are our main takeaways for how to more successfully meet our fitness goals?
Okay, so step one is you can certainly have your mastery focused outcome goal on the back of your mind, right? That's kind of what gets the initial motivation. But start really small and pick something that you can measure. So yes or no, did you do it that day, right? Did you go for your 10-minute walk? That's easy to check off your list. You want to think over the long term, what you're able to maintain and sustain so that eventually it truly becomes a habit that you don't have to consciously employ every time. So if you're going off a challenge-based system, or you see a lot of these posts saying that if you want to adopt a new habit, you just need 21 days, we actually see that it takes, closer to 3 times that length of time
on
to
average.
really, exactly, to really build and maintain a new behavior. So give yourself plenty of time.
That's a wrap. This is Rachel Pendakur and Sohee Lee. Done.